I got a great question for you to start off 2024. Here it is. What journey are you on? You see, we're all on a journey. I know it doesn't feel that way on a Wednesday afternoon where you're just muddling through the week, but if you take a step back and look at your life, you're on a journey. See, there's this thing, and my daughters and I, we always love talking about this. Whenever we watch a movie or read a book, we'll just go full geek on this. It's called the hero's journey. And almost every film you've ever watched or every book you've ever read is actually the hero's journey. In fact, don't go look it up on the internet, because once you learn what the hero's journey is, you can't help but see it in every single story. Star Wars, the very first Star Wars, not chronologically, but not in order, but the one that they did first. That movie is the hero's journey. And the very first step in this storytelling technique called the hero's journey is a call to adventure. You find this farm boy, he thinks his life is normal, you got this normal life, then all of a sudden this guy in a big cloak shows up and he's got a lightsaber and he says, "You were meant for more." Why does this resonate with us? Why are so many films and books and entertainment based on this idea of the hero's journey? Well, here's one theory. It's because in our heart of hearts, we know that we're called to action. It resonates with us because we are meant to live the hero's journey. Here's what the Bible says. It's so powerful. It's one of my favorite verses. It's from the Apostle Paul, and it's in Ephesians chapter 4, verses 1 and 2. It says this: "As a prisoner for the Lord, then, I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love." My friend, I don't care what you're doing or where you're at. You might be in the middle of earning a degree and you're in that part of the degree where you're just slogging through. You might be in a job that feels like it's got a ceiling on you. You might be raising those crumb crunchers in that moment where you don't think anyone appreciates what you're doing. But I want to tell you, you have a calling. It's interesting here. Paul says from prison, live a life worthy of the calling you've received. He could have said, be holy because of what you've received. He could have said, be absolutely heroic because of what you've seen. There's a lot of things he could have said here. But in this instance, he says, recognize because of Christ's grace, what Christ has done, the work on the cross, the defeating of death, you need to understand you have a purpose. Part of responding to the love of Christ is not just worshiping and thanking him for it, but a call to action. Because of this, I'm going to stand up, take my lightsaber, I know that's cheesy, and I'm going to go defeat the dark lords of our world. What's your call to action this year? Maybe it's something as radical as serving in the kids department. Maybe it's working at a homeless shelter. Maybe it's just ushering on a weekend and being the smiling face that someone who's afraid to go to church but took that step, they just see you standing in front of that church building, that service, and saying, "You're welcome. I want you to be here." I don't know what your call to action is, but if you're going to actually live a life that's worthy, if you're going to actually never settle and step up, it means you got to accept the call to action. You got to get on the hero's journey. You got to live a courageous life. And here's the courage. Be humble. Be gentle. Be kind. Bear someone else's burdens. And do it in love. Oh, my friend, by the way, if you're looking for one call to action to do, here's a favor you could do for us on the team up at the Auburn Bayside. It's our very, very first Auburn full-on service, and it's on the 14th of January. Listen, if you're not from the Auburn area or surrounding, you stay at your local church. But if you're from Auburn or Grass Valley or Cool or Colorado or anywhere near there, would you join us on January 14th at E.V. Kane Middle School, 10 o'clock? And by the way, if you're not from the area, you know someone from the area, get them up there. That's your call to action. Let's see what God could do among Baysiders in the whole Auburn area.